Howdy, friends. Steve DePoe here for the Rose Realty team with this week's real estate vlog for North Texas. The 9 home buying markets right now that are in trouble. Now, what we're going to find out is the majority of these markets are in trouble mainly because of shutdown of manufacturing, or manufacturing leaving their towns or leaving their cities. That's the main cause of these of these markets that are in trouble. Some of them have other stuff going on that we'll touch upon, but the majority of them are manufacturing and leaving these states or leaving these cities or towns. So let's get into it. Jackson, Mississippi. Housing prices have fallen about 10% in the last 2 years. Foreclosures are higher than the national average, and they're struggling even before the China virus hit us. Jackson, Mississippi was struggling with housing prices even before March of this year. Longview, Texas. Housing values decreased about 10% over the last year, and foreclosures are higher than the national average. Redwood City, California. Housing values decreased about 7% over the last 2 years, and foreclosures are higher again than the national averages. So Redwood City, Texas, California. Santa Mateo, Fremont, and Santa Rosa, California. All these three are kind of close together and have the same problem going on. The housing values decreased between 3 and 8% over the last 2 years, and foreclosures are up. Laredo, Texas. Housing values fell around 4.3% over the last year. Foreclosures are above the national average, and basically that's a struggling job market is what's causing this problem in Laredo. St. Charles, Louisiana. Housing prices values fell around 3% over the last year, and foreclosures right now are above the national average. Stamford, Connecticut. Housing values have fallen over the last 2 years. And a lot of that is people kind of moving out of Stamford. Stamford is just outside of New York City, and a lot of people on Wall Street live in Stamford. And so because of rising taxes and rising cost of living there, people are moving out of Stamford, which is making a glut of houses on the market. And so housing values then are starting to decrease. Albany, Georgia. Housing prices have been falling since 2009. So Albany, Georgia never actually recovered from the housing crisis of 2008, 2009, 2010. They never quite recovered from that. Foreclosures are triple the national average. And a lot of this stems from the fact that manufacturing closures throughout the area and throughout the city of Albany, Georgia, is what's causing this problem. That's 9.5 or 10 housing areas or cities throughout the country that are kind of having a housing crisis or market crisis right now in the housing market. It's a shame. Here in North Texas, we're not really facing that just yet. We have a housing crisis in terms of lack of housing, and listings are down, but the number of people looking for houses and the number of people buying houses continues to rise, and the number of people moving into the area continues to rise. So for right now, it's all kind of thumbs up for North Texas, but these other areas are definitely suffering a little bit. Next week, next week we're going to kind of get into some fun here, right? Now, the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're kind of got to get into some fun. Next week, we're going to talk about the 7.5 of the biggest or favorite Christmas movies of all time. That's one of our lists that we like to have fun with. The 7.5 biggest or favorite Christmas movies of all times. I hope you tune in for that one. This is Steve DePoe for the Rose Realty team. I'm going to bounce.